Hey, it's AJ, and on this episode of the Entrepreneurial Mind, I'm looking at how do you set up your mindset to give yourself the best possible chance to have an amazing week. So back in the day, I used to be really heavily into personal development, and I would study and absorb everything I could from all the great legends, Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Les Hill. No, wait, Les Hill's an Aussie actor. I don't follow him. Who's the guy that's all, you gotta be hungry? That guy, Les Brown, that's who he is. Yeah, so I used to study all these amazing legends of personal development. And I would take whatever tools I could from them and implement them and use them to help me focus on my mindset and make sure that my mindset was always in the best possible frame of mind. And your mind as an entrepreneur is your most greatest asset, and you need to protect it from all the negativity in the world. And that's why these techniques are so important. So I want to share with you 3 simple techniques that you can use to set up your mind for the best possible chance of success, and it'll allow you to conquer your day, conquer your week, and hopefully have a good month where you will achieve the outcomes that you want. So technique number 1 is called 5 empowering questions. And so every morning, as soon as my eyes fly open, I start asking myself these 5 questions. Question number 1, what am I grateful for? Question number 2, what am I happy about? Question 3, what am I excited for today? Question 4, what am I really proud about? What makes me proud? And question number 5 is something that is really personal to you. And you can figure out what that is. For me, what it is I ask myself, how am I going to change the world today? And usually after I've rolled out through my day, I'll ask myself these same questions before I go to sleep. And that last one, it will be, how am I going to change the world today? And that makes sure it keeps me accountable that throughout my day, at some point, even if it's just a nanosecond, I've actually given up some of my time and expertise to someone else out there who needs it. Whether that's reaching out to a friend to tell them a joke and tell them I'm thinking about them. It could be serving an entrepreneur trying to navigate a particular challenge. It could be just reaching out to a random LinkedIn connection and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. You make their day, and that's what I mean by changing the world. It's not about changing the world, but it's about changing someone's world. So 5 empowering questions. Try it and see how it goes. Now, if you find yourself that, look, I got nothing to be grateful for, or I got nothing to be happy about, reframe that question slightly and just say, if I could be happy about something, what would that be? Okay, so force yourself to get into the right mindset. And this is really important because, like I said, your mind is your greatest asset. Without this, none of this happens, okay? So really protect it. And that's the first tip, 5 empowering questions. The next tip I have for you is sometimes in life, things don't always go to plan, and you will get hit with some negative news or a negative situation, and it'll just take you out completely. So during those times, I practice what's known as the Jennifer Aniston principle. And what that is years ago, there was a personal development person, Robin Sharma, and he spoke about this technique that Jennifer Aniston used to do. And what happened was, whenever she's having a day and something goes bad, whatever Jennifer does is that she'll stop whatever she's doing and she'll just exit out of her day. It doesn't matter where she is or what she's doing. She will go home and just take the rest of the day off. She won't do any work. She won't think anything. She will just feed her soul and do whatever the hell she wants to actually bring joy into her life. And she'll do that for the rest of the day. The next morning, when she wakes up, she will take responsibility for her part in whatever caused the drama that happened the previous day. And it doesn't matter how big or how small the drama was or her involvement in it, she will take responsibility for her part in that. And so I started implementing that in my own life, and it really helps. And hey, when stuff goes wrong, like it just spirals you downwards. And so using the Jennifer Aniston principle, I just take the day off. I call it a day, put a bullet in it, go home, watch YouTube, just watch some movies, just relax, maybe pick up the guitar and play that. But I switch off for the rest of the day. And the next morning, I pick up and take responsibility for whatever part I've got in the dramas, you know, and actually face my fears. And yeah, it works. It really works, because that distance away from the problem or the challenge or whatever just helps you, it gives yourself time and space to come together again and clarify a few things in your mind. And 9 times out of 10, when you wake up the next morning, the pain's not as bad as it was the night before. So try that, the Jennifer Aniston principle. The third tip I have for you is sometimes you really just don't feel that you can go into that meeting or give yourself the best possible, you know, show up as the best version of yourself. And it happens to all of us. You know, there have been times that I've just really been not in the right frame of mind, and yet I have to go on stage and serve the audience, you know. So yeah, there are heaps of tricks that I use, but one thing that's really effective, and I used to teach this to students and other young professionals when I was, you know, speaking to them before. Actually, let me show you the technique. So what it is that Tony Robbins talks about this thing about the connectedness between your physicality and your mentality, right? So mind-body connection, if you will. So one thing I learned from him is the power of physical posture. So don't freak out when he's going to the bathroom, okay? So I want to show you what I do. That sounded really bad. I know, but bear with me here. Now, how am I going to... All right, I'll just hold the camera here. Actually, I'll hold it here so you can see what I do, okay? So whenever you're down and you're not your best self, right, you'll notice something, your physical aspect, like your head will be down, you'll be hunched over a little bit, and you know, you'll be in this sort of like survival physical mode of your body, okay? And that's designed for a very specific purpose. So what I do is I change my physicality. So I sort of force myself to stand up straight, chest out, head up but tilted down, and usually hand on my hip or, you know, in my pocket or whatever. But I'll really focus on, you know, just looking at myself and, you know, standing like that for what seems like hours, okay? But it's actually just a few minutes. And when I do that, all of a sudden, the chemicals, the feel-good chemicals in my brain start kicking in, and you know, eventually, like, I'll just look at myself and the smile will come out, and I'll just start feeling a bit better, you know. And depending on what's happened, this may take a few minutes, it might take, you know, a long time, and I might just stand here for, you know, 20, 30 minutes at a time, right? Until I really get myself into that state. And, you know, this works both for males and females. Like, just remember, think back to a time when you were really, really confident. How did you feel? Like, build up that confidence inside you and demonstrate that, portray that to the mirror, you know, chest out, arm out, head down, smile, you know, force yourself to smile if you have to, but, you know, just really work on it and amazing things happen. So those are my 3 tips for you to get yourself in the right state of mind for you to conquer the week. So first tip was 5 empowering questions. Then follow that up with the Jennifer Aniston principle if anything goes wrong. And last but not least, change your physicality in order to upgrade your mentality. All right, entrepreneurs, I hope this serves you well. Whatever happens in business and in life, I wish you nothing but success. Take care. Hey, it's AJ, and if you like that video, give it a big thumbs up so that it'll help me reach more amazing people like yourself. And check out the other videos on my channel, as there's probably something there that'll help you elevate your thinking. And also, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe.